Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
A lot of people are scared, right? They don't act because they're scared. But I would ask yourself another question, because usually people is like, oh, I'm scared if I do this, this is what's gonna happen. But then reframe that question, and you're still using the power of questions. Ask yourself, what will happen if you don't do this? Because then you use that fear in something that can help you to move positively forward. So if fear is a big motivator for you, utilize that instead of being at the effect of it, and be fearful of what will happen if you don't do what is most important.
Do what you fear and grow stronger. Do one thing every day that scares you. Always, 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 always do what you are afraid to do. Do the thing you fear, and the death of fear is certain. Do the thing, and you will have the power. Now here's a story. When I was 15 years old, I loved to sing. I sang mostly in the shower, really belting out the lyrics to rock and roll songs. The bigger the shower, the better the echo, and the louder I sang. One night after basketball practice, I was alone in the school's shower and really wailing. As I finished my shower and my song, I grabbed my towel and turned to leave and saw one of the seniors standing there smiling at me. He was a lead guitar player in a popular local band, and he informed me that he really liked my voice and wanted to know if I'd consider singing with the band. Consider? Well, I jumped at the chance. I was nervous, but enthusiastic. I attended a few rehearsals at his house and discovered that I really loved singing amplified and surrounded by all that rock and roll thunder. Eventually, during one of those rehearsals, it dawned on me, though, this was the real deal. Someday soon, I'd have to do this in front of a crowd. Now, if I stopped to think about this for very long, my heart would start racing and I'd feel like running away and hiding. But I loved the music and I kept on rehearsing and pushed those thoughts out of my mind. Inevitably, a couple of weeks passed and I found myself walking on stage in front of my first big crowd. I had sweaty, cold palms and I was terrified. My heart was in my throat and I could feel all the lyrics just leaving my brain entirely. And again, I felt like running and hiding. But ready or not, the band started playing, people started dancing, and I somehow started singing on cue, and the energy of it all just began to flow. For the next several years, my singing skills grew. I learned to play bass guitar. The band played a wide variety of venues where we met all sorts of people, and I became completely comfortable in front of crowds. Whole new worlds were opened up to me, and I wasn't even out of high school. As the years pass and I've faced even more frightening challenges, I realize that I've come to regard fear as a doorway. You can't really see everything that's on the other side, but if you ignore your sweaty palms, gather your courage, and step through, you almost always enter another dimension in your life. A dimension in which you are stronger than you were in the one you left behind. Consider these 5 truths about fear. Truth number 1, the fear will never go away as long as I continue to grow. Truth number 2, the only way to get rid of the fear of doing something is to go out and do it. Truth number 3, the only way to feel better about myself is to go out and do it. Truth number 4, not only am I going to experience fear whenever I'm on unfamiliar territory, but so is everyone else. Truth 5, pushing through fear is less frightening than living with the underlying fear that comes from a feeling of helplessness. These are powerful ideas. Copy these 5 truths, post them, and read them once a day for the next month. The object of the game, change your relationship with fear. See those situations that you fear as they really are, as opportunities to stretch and grow stronger. But what about that huge, specific fear you're facing right now? When you're staring at a major, painful fear, one that almost paralyzes you, how can you rally your will to overcome it? Where do you begin? Remember that much of the trick of moving from pain to power is taking action. Action is very powerful. In other words, even if you just take a baby step or two, you need to act. You need to stretch a little outside your comfort zone, experience a small success, overcome a little piece of your fear, and build on that. Then repeat the process by taking the next step, and the next step, and the next step, until you have completely overcome that major fear.
Today is your day to think like a winner. Your mind is strong. Your mind is sharp. Your mind is your greatest asset. Your mind is your greatest weapon. You are meant to be tough.